Aggressive. Hi, how's it going? Today, I want to talk to you about what to do if your son or daughter is depressed after a breakup. And to start with, I want to acknowledge that when you're witnessing your son or daughter being depressed after a breakup, it can be really, really hard to deal with. But you want to deal with it in a way that makes you more successful with your parenting. Now, in order for us to sometimes feel like we're worth something, we have to do something that's counterintuitive. It's uncomfortable and it's not something that we naturally think to do, but it's really, really critical for us in order to move forward in our lives. And this is something that we have to talk to our son or daughter about if they're having a tough time dealing with a breakup. If they're not eating properly or they're not wanting to spend time with their friends, they're just wanting to be alone. We have to talk to them that, hey, in order for us to move forward and start being happy again, we have to do something that's counterintuitive, and it challenges us to get outside of our comfort zone a little bit. So talk to them and encourage them to maybe take a dance class or maybe do something in the community that makes a difference, like volunteering or mentoring a kid. This type of thing, although it's uncomfortable, that's what's going to help them move forward in their lives and help them become happy again. Work with your son or daughter and try to come up with an interest that they can challenge themselves in. Now, once you agree with an interest that they can challenge themselves in with your son or daughter, what you want to make sure is that they follow through on doing whatever it is that interest requires them to do. We're going to refer to them doing whatever that interest entails them to do as their happiness ritual. And we want to make sure that they follow through on this happiness ritual for at least 4 weeks. Whenever we're trying to start a new habit, usually around the 4th or 5th day, there's a lot of resistance. And we definitely at that point during the 4th or 5th day want to revert back to our old habits. And we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we stick with this new habit, this new happiness ritual. So we're going to do something that, requires us to become a little rigorous with ourselves. A technique that I learned that has helped me personally stick to my new habit that I'm working on is to make it impossible for me to quit. So essentially what I do is I give somebody a certain amount of money and I ask them to check in with me on a regular basis to make sure that I'm doing my new routine. And if I do my routine for all of my scheduled days for 4 weeks, then what they do is give me the money back. This makes it almost impossible for me to quit because eventually I want to get the money back that I gave them. If I end up not doing my routine on my scheduled day, then they get to keep the money. What this does is it makes it impossible for me to quit. And this can really ensure that your teenager sticks to their scheduled routine as well and ultimately sticks to becoming happy again. First off, you want to plan out doing this happiness ritual with your teenager, and you want to have the clearest conversation possible. Things to consider: maybe do they have to play an instrument throughout the day on top of doing the happiness ritual? Do they have to they have schoolwork that has to get done on top of doing this happiness ritual? What else are the things that have to get done on top of doing this happiness ritual? You want to have that conversation be as clear as possible with your teenagers. The more clear the conversation, the more likely it is that their happiness ritual is going to happen on a day-to-day basis. Once your son or daughter is agreeing that this happiness ritual can really benefit him or her, then what you want to do is talk to them about this technique that's going to ensure that they stick with it. You can tell them, hey, there's going to be times where you're not going to feel like going to your dance class or doing whatever your happiness ritual is. And then you're going to want to revert back to your old patterns. Can we put some kind of accountability in place to make sure that you stick with your new routine? Maybe, give me $30 or $40 and I'll check in with you to make sure that you're doing your new routine. And if you do it on the scheduled days that we planned for, then what I'll do is I'll return you to $30 or $40. This will ensure that you don't fall back into old patterns and you're actually moving towards what's going to make you happy. Now, this is going to make them a little bit uncomfortable, but as they realize that, hey, this is actually going to help them become happy again, then they'll agree to doing it. This will really help your son or daughter move forward after a breakup. It's going to give them a sense of purpose. Now, this is going to be outside of your comfort zone to do this, but it's going to make you more successful in your parenting. I guarantee it. So go and do this and create some success for yourself. You know, when we're unsuccessful in our parenting, and we're having hard times coming up with solutions, when we find out that our teenager lied to us, or we catch our daughter dating a guy who is way older than she is, or we find out that our son or daughter is just being immature with their sexuality, it's mainly because we unconsciously put limitations up in our relationships. And I can even confess, this is something that I do as well. I remember just recently when I was talking with somebody that I really love, and I was trying to be all perfect in front of them, which kept me from being myself. And ironically, it probably ended up making me look a little bit stupid. The good thing is that you can remove some of these limitations that you put up in your relationships. And as you do, you become 10 to 100 times more successful with your teenager. You automatically know what to say if you found out your teenager lied to you about what his grades are. Or you'll automatically know what to say if you find out that your daughter has been dating somebody that's way older than her. Or all of these types of parenting situations, when you start removing those limitations, you'll automatically just kind of know what to say to be successful in those types of situations. And the best part of kind of knowing what to say in these types of situations is that you're no longer reliant on me or anybody else to tell you what to say in those types of situations. You're kind of able to handle them on your own, and you don't need anybody else's advice. I actually have had huge issues with working together in groups of people. I've owned businesses in the past where I've had to get my team to buy into my vision so that they can create the services that would be successful, especially when I'm not around. I really wanted them to buy in. I just didn't want them to say, yeah, sure, and then not really get things the right way when I'm not around. I would, imagine my clients just, saying things about how bad my services are, and basically, imagine my reputation just being thrown into the dirt because we had bad products and stuff like that because I couldn't get people to buy into my visions. I mean, I had these thoughts in my head, and I, ended up trying to read management books and books on communication to kind of solve some of these issues. And really that didn't do anything. Really what helped me was when I made friends with some guys who were just amazingly successful in working with groups. They were some company leaders and had huge teams that they would work with, and they were just really, really successful with them. And I started to copy what they do. I started to kind of just observe everything they did and applied it to my own life. And that is when I was able to work together with my team, get them to buy into my vision, and we created great products that I'm really, really proud of. That same skill of getting people to buy into your vision has really helped me help parents become dramatically more successful with their teenagers. It's been nothing short of a miracle. And then what I did was I took all of that stuff that I learned that was helping parents kind of be successful with their kids about being successful in groups of people, getting people to buy into your vision. And I put this all together in a program called Advanced Parenting Techniques. And in this program, what you learn is how to naturally get your teenager to, stop punching holes in the wall, or get your son or daughter to tell you the truth about their real grades, or how to help your son or daughter move forward after a breakup. Or how to help your son or daughter become mature with their sexuality, and basically any other parenting challenge such as this. As a parent, if you're not really able to be successful with your teenager, you don't really feel successful as a person, which is why I think it's really important to get this part of your life handled. And if you are ready to get this part of your life handled, I put a link in the description of this video that's titled Advanced Parenting Techniques. And when you click on that link, it's going to take you to a page that talks a little bit more about what's in that Advanced Parenting Techniques program that I was just telling you about. So to start with, first, I want to congratulate you for taking some steps towards getting this part of your life handled. Usually these are the moments that, we look back upon later on and we're like, that was the moment that really changed my life. That was the game-changing moment for me. So if you're really serious about getting this part of your life just locked down, success with teenagers just locked down, then click on that link in the description of this video that says Advanced Parenting Techniques and go ahead and check that out. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.